Hey guys, so welcome to another Get Ready With Me. I did my eyebrows before we started and I do not like how they look today. I think this one looks a little bit spermy, but we're just gonna go with it. Hope you guys are doing well today. It is July 3rd, which means tomorrow's July 4th, which I don't even know how people are taking that in right now with everything that's been going on in this country, because I know, people are not super happy with the current state of affairs, but July 4th is a really great day to go out and try to raise awareness about the importance of voting access and voter engagement, because I think something that our country is founded on is the ability for us to all participate in this democracy. So I like to think of 4th of July as like a pretty cool day to actually, go out and participate in our representative democracy. So if you guys have any kind of primary or election coming up, or even just to prep for November's like midterm elections, and you want to get to know your candidates better, I think July 4th is a great holiday to like download Ballot Ready, or like, one of these apps that makes it super easy for you to know more about your elected officials and just try to learn as much as you can. That's my like shameless plug for civic engagement of the day. I am pretty caffeinated right now, so just to like warn you. Man, I really don't like my eyebrows today. I like really need to get them done. Or, if I don't get them done, I should just have at them a little bit and tame them a little bit. Because they are wild to a point that I can't even get the shape that I want. Because I don't really care about stray hairs. I think that looks natural, but I can't even get the base shape that I want for it, because the shape is just so overgrown. I can't even tell what's going on. It's like mindlessness. I don't know. But it's also I don't want to spend infinite amounts of time trying to figure it out. Oh, where is any of my foundation? Huh. That's an interesting development. Alright, well, I'm gonna go on a hunt for my foundation. I'll be right back. That's funny. I literally opened up my brushes case and then immediately saw my foundations. Gotta get some water to accompany that caffeine. I drink so much water, you guys don't even know. I have a thing about water because I get headaches a lot, and I just feel like I really, really, really need a lot of water in my day in order for me to avoid getting some kind of cluster headache or migraine or whatever else I happen to be prone to. I'm just a little bit unlucky around that stuff. I always have been, even as a kid. So, sometimes I think, oh, is this weight related? Because it could be related to my blood pressure, which I do have. Well, I don't know right now because I haven't checked it in a while, but I have had in the past fairly elevated blood pressure. The bottom number is the one you really have to worry about more, and my bottom number has gone up to 90 something, and I think that's that is actually classified as being hypertensive. That's not pre-hypertensive. I think in the 80s is pre-hypertensive. So I am 29, as I have shared on this channel multiple times before, and every time I go to the doctor and it's elevated like that, I'm really adamant about wanting to lower it through lifestyle changes. And I know that blood pressure isn't, there are like very healthy individuals who genetically are prone to high blood pressure, but it does not seem that that is the case for me, because nobody else in my family deals with weight issues the way that I do, and nobody else in my family has elevated blood pressure. And that's like not just my immediate family. I believe that is like my extended family as well, though. If you've heard me talk about my family situation on this channel before, I don't have a really strong relationship with my extended family. I mean, I try as much as I can to have a relationship with my cousins in India. Sometimes I'm better at that than others. Like other times I'll be perfectly honest. But it's just hard. We definitely don't talk about our health history or anything like that. So I'm not like 1,000% sure that it doesn't run in my family, but all signs tend to point to that for me, it is weight related. And I know that that is not the case with everybody. So that's why I am being careful about language around that, because I think it's really problematic that doctors tend to assume that high blood pressure is weight related, because there may be instances in which it's not. So it's like really important to, if you do have high blood pressure as like a younger person, to get additional testing and that kind of thing, to test for like hypothyroidism and anything else that could contribute to that. I don't have any of those things. As far as I know, I have had tests done on my thyroid and on different things. I've had a lot of things tested when my blood pressure was beginning to be elevated. But everything points to that it is weight related, and I do notice when I shed around 20 pounds, usually it's when I hit around 170, my blood pressure tends to decrease a lot, I notice. So right now I am 180 something, 180 and some change. So for me, it definitely seems like weight related. For a lot of people, I think it is weight related, but for a lot of people, it isn't. So, and the whole reason I think of having the BMI thing is like for stuff like this. It's not to like, well, actually, I know there's all kinds of like weight bias stuff in the healthcare world. So I'm not trying to be dismissive of any of that stuff. Like, I'm absolutely aware that it exists, and I know that like usually it's for people who are a little bit heavier than me. If they walk in a doctor's office and it's like you being overweight is like an incredibly obvious thing about you, that it tends to be the only thing that the doctors will focus on as for the cause of different things. And I think it's really problematic because they might miss something that's really important. I have a thinner face, I guess, than in comparison to the rest of my body. And my body's like fairly proportioned. So I feel like when I walk into a doctor's office, they don't immediately jump to stuff around weight until they look at my weight. I think it's not as obvious that I weigh as much as I do, though I feel like doctors should know. Like, I feel like it should be obvious for doctors what like a BMI of like 31 or whatever looks like. But back to the BMI thing, I just think that like for me, BMI is important when it comes to thinking about weight-related illnesses, because if you're in the overweight category, it's like a little bit less likely to be weight-related, or so they say. But if you're in the, Oh man, I just like managed to like smear off all the makeup on my nose. I was trying to do that. But if you're in the obese category, then it's more likely to be weight related. If you're just in the overweight category, it might be something, it's a little bit less likely. And that is honestly, that has been like exactly my experience. Like when I am in the overweight category, it seems like, I don't know, it seems like my body, I think it's just a better place for my body because in most areas I am much, much healthier than when I'm in the obese category, which I am in right now. So I am technically obese. I think I'm like around 30. I might be 31 on the BMI. So anything above 30 or above is considered obese. So I really like, even for like health sake, I think on this channel I don't tend to talk about health related stuff as much because like I said, there's just a lot of misinformation out there about what is exactly weight related and what isn't, and what, you know, really increases your chances and what doesn't. So I don't like to harp on it constantly. But for me, if I can get my BMI to like 28 or 27, then that, I've noticed for me, will have a really good impact on my blood pressure. Because, you know, you can only do so much with eating and with exercise. I think it does help, but for me, and this is not like for everyone, like I have a number of friends who are bigger than me and who do not deal with high blood pressure the way I do. So it doesn't, you know, it's not like, that's why like I gave this whole explanation about how mine is weight related, but like a lot of times it isn't necessarily that way. I have a suspicion that my high blood pressure is typically related to the fact that I do have a binge eating disorder issue, because, you know, I just think that if it's a really bad binge, it can just be like a crazy amount of salt that I'm consuming. And so I just imagine that that's different than folks who don't deal with that issue. But how do I know? I'm not a doctor. But that's like how I reason it in my head, that makes sense. But like even if I have an occasional binge when I'm, you know, at a BMI of like 28 or 27, the blood pressure is still like so much better. It seems like so inexplicably linked to weight for me. And I'm just one individual, so this is just like an individual's experience with it, but that's definitely just like what it seems like. So because of that, in addition to, and I don't talk, like I said, I don't emphasize this because I think there's a lot of bias around fatness in the healthcare industry, but a big reason why I want to get down to like 170 or something is so that I can lower my blood pressure. And so that's like my ultimate goal. Like, yes, I have a lot of body insecurities. Obviously I'm not gonna pretend like I don't, because like every time I'm on this channel, I'm typically talking about body insecurities. So it's not like I'm gonna pretend like that's not a big motivator for me to lose weight. But if I could feel like, you know, I'm not like slowly killing myself or something, which is like always a thought in the back of my mind when I'm in a weight range where my blood pressure tends to be elevated, that would be amazing. You know, if I could feel like I'm doing the most for my body and I can live the longest life possible, that would be an amazing feeling. So yeah, we'll see. I don't think I've had a weight loss in the last few weeks. I mean, I haven't been stepping on the scale. I've mentioned in these videos before that I have issues with getting on a scale if I am pretty sure that I haven't had a loss. And you tend to know, like, if you're somebody who monitors your body a lot, you tend to know whether or not you've had a loss. I think the only way that I could have a loss is if I lost muscle from not going to the gym as frequently as I was going to before. But I have more recently picked up my gym going, so I don't think it would be a loss there. In general, when I'm not feeling comfortable about getting on the scale, I like to use non-scale victories, but I really don't like measuring myself with a tape measure. I like also have phobia around that. So the non-scale victories that I count are like how well my clothes are fitting, typically. But I don't feel like my clothes are fitting particularly well right now. So anyway, I'm pretty sure that I just haven't lost anything in a few weeks. And I do think that I've gained a few pounds. I don't think that it's bad, but I think I've gained a few pounds, and I don't really want to step on the scale again until I am like definitely sure that I will see a loss. Oh my goodness, did I lose my, no, here it is. I was like, did I lose my eyeliner again? I like literally just lost my NYX eyeliner like less than a week ago, and then right now I was like, did I just lose my Stila liner? Okay, so doing my waterline. And then I'm going to smoke out my bottom lash a little bit. You guys know the routine. So July 3rd, our office let out a couple hours early. We got let out at 3 today. Oh, sorry, 3 Eastern. So it's 2 p.m. In Central Time, or it's a little bit after 2 p.m. So I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm gonna hop on here and do my makeup and then run up north before rush hour, because I am meeting some friends and I like don't want to get caught in rush hour. But it is July 3rd, and I feel like a lot of people are probably being let out early. So I don't know, it like probably is already rush hour. I feel like every time I try to like make the commute during the work week, there's like no time you can leave to avoid traffic. Like even if you think you are like taking the most like the most of the most precautions. I feel like almost no matter what, it's like whenever you leave, it's the worst time you could possibly leave. I don't know why, you know, it's like one of the downfalls of living in a big city. But I think I'm going to take the train because I'm reading this book right now that I like really like. I think it's like a dystopian book. On the back they keep on comparing it to like Animal Farm in like 1984 or something, which I'm like, I don't know how those two are similar, but okay. So far it's about a woman who preys on buff male hitchhikers. Like she's always like looking for like the buffest of buff, and she's like checking their like to make sure that like they're like under their clothes it's like actually muscle and it's not like fat like that's being disguised as buffness or something. It's like very funny. And then I think she like preys on them or something, but I've kind of just started the book, but like the description so far, like the scenes are like really good. So I'm like kind of excited about having this like extra time to check it out. I'm not like done with work, I think, for today, but because the office is out already, I think I'm okay with like trying to beat rush hour and then trying to get back to the work. I might like hole up in a coffee shop or something and try to get more done. Okay, so that is good. What didn't I do? Oh yeah, let me do like my little sparkly inner corner. And then I'll do a lip. Okay, I'll do my lip that I always do, which is a nude liner, and this Lipstick Queen stuff. This was so popular when it came out, and I feel like none of the beauty gurus have talked about it in a really long time. I also think I'm gonna brush my teeth again before I leave because the Ritalin kind of gives me dry mouth a little bit sometimes. Okay. I think that looks nice. Let's do the spray. Ah, so refreshing. Putting all my stuff back in my makeup bag. Which, I don't know why I'm showing that part to you. Putting things away now. Alright, and then it'd be nice if I could, oops, I could, okay. So magically this time my hair is actually already dry. I feel like every time I do these my hair is not dry. Did you guys check out that I'm like wearing red, white, and blue today? I know it's the 3rd, but tomorrow's gonna be really hot, so I like didn't want to wear this shirt tomorrow. This is probably like my best suited 4th of July shirt. It's Tommy Hilfiger. No, it's Calvin Klein. I was like, what's the brand that's like just so patriotic looking? Okay. So this is my makeup, and I hope you guys have a great 4th of July, and I will talk to y'all soon. Bye, guys.